Hello everybody. It is another health live today. Today I'm talking to you guys about dental health. So it's a big one. It's it's been kind of one of these areas of what's the word? Not conspiracy. Well, even conspiracy. There's been a lot of sort of jury out on what's true and what's not. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to tell you what I know from a naturopathic perspective, from 13 years of, working with people, working around holistic doctors, holistic dentists, their understanding that I have gathered off them, you know what I mean? So that sort of stuff. So there's a few things that we need to chat about. First one, fluoride. Second one, root canals. Third one, mercury. These are the primary issues that I see. There are some finer ones that come a little bit later, so I'll talk about those later as well. So let's just quickly chat about fluoride. Some people are very anti-fluoride, others seem to think it's fine. All I can say about this is do go do your own research. My perspective on this is fluoride is one of the halogen minerals, and it directly depletes iodine. These ones, the halogens, iodine, bromide, fluoride, chlorine, chloride, they all sit like below each other in the periodic table. And when you see that they work together, they have a very similar, they kind of push each other out of the body, yeah? In fact, all minerals do this, and I'm going to show you how this works a little bit with mercury in a minute. But with fluoride, you take it in your mouth. When you brush your teeth, it's in your water, so you're having it all the time. It's like chlorine, and it can cause depletion. The combination of fluoride and chlorine in your water depletes iodine. Now, in Australia, New Zealand, Western cultures, we don't eat much iodine-containing food. It's not in our soil. We don't eat much that comes from the sea anymore. If we were living in a country or a culture where we ate a lot of seaweed, this probably wouldn't be such a big deal. But because we don't, most people are low in iodine. And 13 years of naturopathic clinic, seeing the amount of thyroid problems that I see, there's a strong link to thyroid problems, iodine deficiency, and even right through to other hormonal problems, estrogen dominance, and even any sort of lumps and bumps in the body, full stop, like tumours and things like that, breast cancer, that sort of thing. So it's important not to be knocking out your little bit of iodine that you do have. So this is why I don't recommend fluoride. One of the reasons why. There are other reasons, and you can go into them and discover them on your own when you Google and have a bit of a search. So the next one we want to talk about is mercury. Mercury fillings have been around for a very long time. However, mercury is one of the most toxic things to humans. It makes you go crazy. It affects your brain and neurological system. The Mad Hatters, the reason they went mad is because they were using mercury back in the old days. I don't know how long ago this was, back in England or whatever. So mercury affects the neurological system. It is very, very toxic, and the thing about all toxic metals is that it has an accumulative effect in the body. So it's not just when you have one little bit, oh, that's no big deal. It doesn't really affect you, and you won't notice it. Yeah. So some of the most common exposures of mercury we get these days are from fish, like tuna and things like that, very high in mercury because of the contamination of the water. But also from the amalgams. The amalgam, the silver fillings. These have mercury in them. Now, I think it's crazy that they're still putting mercury into people's mouths. But you now have composites which you should be using. So the next thing is okay, so it's toxic to the nervous system. It also blocks the ability for nutrients to come into the cells. So a lot of these toxic minerals actually bind onto the same receptor sites as your zinc and your magnesium and selenium and those sorts of minerals that are important for health. So mercury blocks those receptors so that the nutrients can't come in. So this is how you can start to develop health problems. And this is why naturopaths often do heavy metal detoxification or mineral hair analysis and all that sort of stuff to find out the levels within the body. So that's a whole process, but the idea is just don't stick it in your mouth and you don't have to worry about it so much. Avoid eating fish that are high in it and other things that expose you to mercury. But the worst place to have mercury is in your teeth, because every time you chew, because mercury is so soft, every time you chew, every time you drink something hot or eat something warm, little bits of mercury are constantly coming off. So this is why there is now mercury amalgam removal, or whatever you want to call it, mercury amalgam removal, whatever, silver filling removal. And when you do this, you need to do it correctly. You don't just go to your standard dentist, because they don't understand it. You need to look for a holistic dentist who understands how toxic this stuff is and will protect you and themselves and the environment from it. So if you go to a dentist who understands this, you want to look for, what do they call themselves? Like biocompatible dentists or something like that. I can't remember the name. But they are holistic dentists, and they will understand how to do this and how to remove it. If you are unwell, now this is another thing with mercury. If you're chronically unwell, and I've seen this happen with people, so this is why I'm giving you this caution, very, very unwell, very tired, very sick, got like serious health conditions, do not go and get your mercury removed. And I know that sounds crazy because I'm telling you it's not good and you think, well, I should take it out. But the thing is, the removal process releases so much mercury into the body that it can make people really, really unwell. So you've got to like get yourself better if you're in that stage, and then think about removing it. And then when you do remove it, you want to be on lots of things to help your body get it out of the body so it doesn't get absorbed. So that's stuff that I can definitely help you with if you're interested in that, or other naturopaths can help you with as well. But there's a full protocol for doing this correctly to prevent it getting into your body. And your dentist, if they're good, they should be able to either direct you to a naturopath or at least be able to guide you on how to do this a little bit themselves. So that's mercury. The next one is root canals. Now, controversial. They've been around for a long time. You probably have one or know someone who's got one. But again, there's a great movie in Gaia TV at the moment talking about dentistry and root canals. There's a lot of holistic dentists out there who have done quite a lot of research on this. It is often poo-pooed. It's like, oh, it's just witchy stuff. It's not true. It's blah, blah, blah. But you have a choice to listen to it or not. So I'm just going to tell you what I know. But what happens with a root canal, and any holistic dentist is going to sort of agree with you or be able to explain this to you on another level, is that when you have a dead tooth, the root dies. That's why the tooth dies. And so in a root canal, what they do is they sort of cut out the tooth or pull out the tooth, but on a root of a tooth, it's like a tree. It has lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of little mini roots. And the problem with root canals is that when they pull out the root, they don't pull out all those little roots. And they're left in there to they rot and decay. And so essentially what happens is you have this like breeding ground for bacteria that then is linked to all sorts of nasty diseases. And some of the worst ones out there, like prostate cancer, breast cancer, all that sort of stuff, chronic fatigue, major like fatigue and immune problems, that sort of thing. So again, do your research. I'm just telling you what I know. So if you're in that situation, you're being told to get a root canal, maybe think about it, do a bit more research, and maybe go for a second option. Maybe go for like, where you get like a false tooth and a little plate that you have to do. I know it's not perfect because you have to do that all the time, but you've got to think about the long-term potential health consequences of getting that. And this is what you need to do with these things. Ideally, we want to keep our teeth really healthy and not lose them. And how we do that is through a healthy diet, eating foods that are rich in minerals, particularly calcium and magnesium and boron and silica and all the things that are really good for bone health, are good for teeth health, vitamin D, vitamin K, all those sorts of things. But you don't want to just supplement, you want to eat a really healthy diet to do that. So yeah, if you've got bone problems, you may probably have teeth problems and vice versa. So it's something that you need to get checked out. Bone density, getting those sorts of things done to have a look, and then start to address them as soon as possible, because bones hold they are the structure of the body. So when they start to fall apart, and I see some really sad cases of people with osteoporosis who, you know, they got told in their 40s or that they're osteopenic, which is like before osteoporosis. They do nothing about it, and they wait until they're in their 60s until they can't walk anymore, you know. And it's like, it's not too late. They can start to get better, don't get me wrong, but it's much harder to heal a body when there's so much damage is being done. Do you know what I mean? So if you're in that situation, start looking after yourself now. Go to a naturopath, go get that support now, so you don't have that story of the 60 and 70-year-olds that I see in so much pain and agony, and having to live on like the most hardcore pain drugs. It's not really a great quality of life. So moving on through to root canals, past the root canals, the last thing I want to talk to you about is just the other options. When you go to a holistic dentist, they will know about mercury. They'll know about getting minerals, what's it called? You can get like zirconium. That's like the most bio kind of resonant kind of, it's best, what's the word? I'm looking for the wrong word. I've got the wrong word. Biocompatible, that's it. The most biocompatible materials with the human body. Yeah, so a lot of the time they put titanium in. And titanium, yes, it's very strong and it doesn't rust and all that thing, and that's why they use it. But it's not, it offsets the meridians and the energy system of the body. So people can get headaches, and, you know, it's like having a magnet inside your head. Like, it's very metallic. Even sometimes I've got these, when you get cheap earrings, I don't know, has anyone noticed that when you wear, I get cheap earrings? Accidentally the other day I bought some. I thought, these would be right. Put them on, and I was like, I could feel it was like, zzz. I was like, oh God, can't wear these. Like, they're just metallic, like they've got that energy feeling, like buzzing. I was like, I feel myself getting a headache. So they affect that as well. You want to go for BPA free as well. So the other one is BPA. So the what's it called? The amalgam replacement. So instead of having mercury, you get the plastic, basically the composite or the plastic fillings. But you just want to go for ones that are BPA free or less toxic on a chemical level, because BPA, along with other plastics, is linked to hormone problems, breast cancer, all that sort of stuff, xenoestrogen dominance, estrogen dominance, and that sort of thing. And that stays in your mouth the whole time. And of course, when it gets hot, it releases as plastics do. So you just want to try to avoid that. And there is such a thing as digital x-rays as well. So there's lots to know about teeth. Obviously, I'm not a dentist, but I like to advise people on holistic ways to look after their health and body. And if you're wanting help detoxing any of this stuff, or help with, you know, your thyroid, your iodine, or your mercury levels, or any other heavy metals, then detoxification is definitely one of my specialties. I've trained in this for a long time. I've helped a lot of people with detoxification. And on that note, we are now starting to run detox days. So we're starting these off with clay packing. This is clay that you stick onto your body, and it literally draws out toxins through the skin using like the ionic kind of drawing method exchange that happens when you put a clay on. And the best way I can explain this is, you know, clay's been associated with beauty treatments for a very long time, right? Mud wraps and all that sort of get rid of pimples and things. So it's working on that same level. And the interesting thing about clay is, if you can Google and look all this sort of stuff up, but like in the, I remember reading about in the Amazon and other places like tropical places, certain like birds and monkeys and things will eat poisonous fruit, but they'll eat it with clay, and the clay will absorb the toxin. If they didn't do that, they would get sick. But because they're smart and they're in tune with nature and all that sort of stuff, they know to eat the fruit with the clay, and then they don't get sick. So clay has an ability to bind onto toxins. So that's what we're doing at these detox days. Our first one is already full. I think our next one is on the 14th, Tuesday, the 14th of December. We may be running another one in December as well. So if you're interested, please just send me a message. They're only $70. You come for a couple of hours and you're going to sit down in a nice environment, and I'm going to help you do these plays. And you get a detox tea and a detox drink, and you're doing a little detox on that day. So it's all guided by me, and yeah, it's a really great thing to do if you've been exposed to any toxins recently. If you've had any major injuries, breaks or anything like that, because in those areas toxins accumulate. If you've had any injections recently, or old injections or new injections, these hold a lot of this toxin or residue will stay in the body. So you may want to help with that process, help the body deal with that as well using these plates. So yeah, there's lots of things we can do to help your body stay healthy and well. So just send us a message. If you want to work with me one-on-one or join my Healthy Hormone program, you can do that as well. Just send me a message and we can book you in for a free 30-minute consult. And that's where we talk and have a chat about what's going on and how I can help you and what you need to do and all that sort of stuff. So have a great day, guys. Enjoy your Wednesday, and I will see you here this time, same place, same time, next week with a different topic. See ya. Thanks for watching.